It's your host, Rebecca, here for the Reddit Randos. And your wonderful co-host for the day is nobody. It's just me today. You just get me. Wonderful me. Ha ha ha. So we've just had a lot of things going on lately. So we've recently kind of had a recent scare with Justin's grandpa. He actually had a massive heart attack the other day, and we were going to do one together, and I was like, don't worry about it. I'll just do one myself because he needs to be there. He's right there. He's actually there at the hospital right now with his grandpa, and he pulled through, and he's okay. He's going to be there for a few days, but please, have your thoughts and prayers with my husband and his family and his grandpa, because this is a hard time when you have loved ones. This is the only grandparent. He's got a grandma and grandpa from only one side that he's ever known all his life. And for those who have been lucky enough to be able to grow up and be around your grandparents and get to know them, it's a special relationship you can have sometimes that you cherish, and you don't get to have, not everyone has that same experience. So I've lost all of my grandparents, and I truly, with his still being alive and being around them for over 10 years, I truly see them as my own grandparents still, since I was a kid when I lost mine. And yeah, it's been a little tough, but just everyone have their thoughts and prayers for him. And we're gonna make this a good episode. So everyone buckle up and get ready for some crazy stories. We're gonna go super random today, just all over the place. I picked just a few here and there to go over, but we're gonna get down and just kind of go all over the place. No theme today. I mean, maybe we'll find a theme as we're literally telling the story, but as we go, just enjoy, sit back and relax. Here we go. So our first story for the day is from Am I the A-Hole? It's from 3 months ago, and it is titled, Am I the A-Hole for going on a motorcycle trip with my friends instead of my daughter's wedding? Ooh, that's well, I don't know. I would say from the title alone, I'd say yes, because why wouldn't you go to your daughter's wedding? But we need context. So let's go into it and see what the story is about. Okay. So for some quick context, like I said, last year I was told my daughter was getting married in 2025. I immediately supported this decision and was there every step of the way. Following tradition, I gave her $4,500 for help with venue payment. During the planning process, they changed from a local wedding to a destination wedding in Puerto Rico and forwarded the timeline a year to last fall, giving me a year less to pay for the wedding. Okay, so wait. So they forwarded the timeline a year to last fall, giving me a year less to pay for the wedding. Okay, interesting. Now I had to pay for flights and accommodations for people. Reservations for Airbnb were made and purchased, and tickets were bought. Then they broke up over some pretty immature reasons. Oh, jeez. I was stuck with the bill. I tried for refunds, but was told the trip was going ahead. Oh my word, no way. So the trip was going ahead for revenge photos to make him feel bad. So that, and because my wife and stepkids are Puerto Rican, I said fine. In total, that trip costed me $22,500 for a not wedding to happen. That's crazy. Okay, shortly after that trip, I was invited to ride through Glacier National Parks with some buddies. I figured, I've paid for multiple trips to Disney as well as multiple trips for people to go to Puerto Rico. So sure, I think I earned it. My buddies and I planned for this September. My daughter left about 4 months ago to go back to her man and didn't say a word to me. We haven't talked once since she left. Zero explanation or call. The other day, she showed up at the house and told me matter-of-factly that the wedding is back on and I needed to be there. It was going to be on Thursday, 9/11. I told her I can't make it. I had prepaid plans already. She said, "You're really going to miss my wedding?" I told her I was there for the first one. She said that wasn't one. I said, "Not according to my bank account." She walked off, and now I'm apparently the a-hole. So is he the a-hole? I would say your daughter, I say she needs to have some counseling with her man first before they truly know if they're going to be married. Because like he said, she's like, "We didn't have one." And he's like, "Not according to my bank account." Honestly, because he tried getting the refunds and he couldn't get it for some of it, and they still went on that trip. So, I mean, for him to pay for her to get revenge photos, like seriously, this is your dad paying for it. You definitely think of your dad only being a bank account. And he's already had plans to go on a trip. If you really thought the wedding was back on, you should have figured out who you wanted to be there, was able to make that date. Like, I don't care if the wedding was off and now we're back on and it's going to be really here soon. It doesn't matter. If you want your dad there, you should check with him first and find a different weekend, because the shenanigans you put him through definitely would piss me off. That would piss me off. I'd be like, "Sorry, you screwed up the first time." Or I shouldn't say you screwed up, because it could have been on the boyfriend's fault or side, or the fiance, I guess, that broke things off more. But still, for you guys just to matter-of-factly say it's going to be on this date, and to not even check in with your family to say, "Hey, guess what? We're back together and we really would like to go on this date to get married." And if it doesn't work, you should always have a backup plan. Always have backup dates. Like, you should have more than one. So, and then, yeah, if there's certain family members that you'd like one more than the other, and only one can go on certain dates, I mean, you gotta pick and choose. Not everyone is going to be available for your day, and that's just a matter of fact. So, yeah, I would say not the a-hole for this father. You've made your joke about things, but I do think you need to sit down with your daughter and truly share your, and I don't even want to say concerns, but I want you to share with her, saying, "Hey, we went through a lot with your last one, and a lot has happened, and I really would like some time with my friends, and I already planned this trip. You should have come to me beforehand. Is there another date we can do it? And if there's not, I'm sorry, but I already made the plans." And yeah, we'll see what she says. Basically, like I said, if she really wants you there, she will wait another date she'll go for another date that you're available. But if she's really wanting that date and she's willing to go without with you, then apparently she doesn't want you to be there that bad. And if you're even going to pay for it this time. So, I mean, if she expects you to pay for another one, then she probably will go ahead and wait, because she needs daddy's wallet. So that's really bad to say. But anyways, we'll go to some top comments here. Top comment is, "Not the a-hole. Your daughter is going about the planning all wrong. She should be working with you to decide on a date to ensure that the most important people are able to attend. Also, Thursday, 9/11, I can't help but feel that's a poor date choice, and midweek." That is really true. I didn't even think about that. Well, first of all, I did know when she said 9/11, and I'm guessing I'm wondering, I don't know if this is UK or another country or United States, but definitely for United States, the date 9/11 is a huge date that you don't want to really have a memorable, like, wedding, or I guess wedding. I mean, I can't even say birthday, because I feel bad for those that were born on 9/11 after the fact, even before it, the date that happened in 2001. But people who aren't familiar with it, it was the fall of the Twin Towers of the attack. Look it up if you need to, but it is a really sad day because a lot of people died that day. Children, families, a lot of people working in those areas, firefighters, policemen. Just, it was a horrific day. And to have your wedding on that day, I mean, then you're always going to be in the future when you're celebrating. People are all going to be posting about 9/11, and you're going to be like, why is everyone so sad and gloomy or not thinking about my wedding? Well, honey, you got to remember that if it's on a date that something bad happened, America's only going to focus on that. If this is the US. But otherwise, if it's not, then I mean, it's not. I don't know if anything else happened on that day, but sometimes that's something you always got to remember, is like, if it's on a date that's not a good date, or that you really, if you're okay sharing that date, then that's fine. If you're not okay because you're like worried that it's one event or maybe a holiday that you have it on is going to outshine it, I mean, I think it's a little crazy, but I mean, still, if you don't want to be outshined because of an event or a holiday that you planned that date on, you gotta move it. So what we were saying is that what we were really making, like exactly that comment said, shouldn't you be planning with your family on what dates work for you that most of your family can be a part of? I mean, like you said, don't you want them to be a part of it? So it doesn't make any sense. A lot of people said, it sounds like this too is going to be a gigantic toxic disaster, so the date seems perfect. Other people are like, at least it will be a wedding nobody will forget. Someone said, you could even say they will never not remember it. And OP had responded saying, oh, they will. I'm sure we all will. So it just tells you that this is probably going to be a crazy disaster. Who knows if it will even last, or even get to that part of the wedding again after what has happened with the last time. I mean, like I said, these two kids just need, I think, some time to make sure if this wedding is going to happen. I don't think 4 months after being back together changes everything, that they're going to get back to being married. I honestly don't think that marriage is going to last. And I feel bad because I think OP was like, would love to do anything for for his daughter, not her, his daughter. But when she kind of, I feel like, is just a little bit entitled, like, oh, we're going to go ahead and do this. Aren't you going to be there? And he's like, I put in a lot of work the last time and look what happened. So don't look at me, or, don't blame me when I just want a little bit of break. So, but anyways, that like I said, the final decision, or the final, was not the a-hole from everyone. So that's that. On to the next. Okay, so our next story comes from True Off My Chest. This was from 2 months ago, and the title is, Our Newborn, 1 month, is making me see my wife as stupid, and it's turning me into an a-hole. I feel awful and need to stop. That's a little heavy. Okay, so guys, I'm in a really bad place, and I really need a reality check. My wife is my best friend, and I love her. She's a great person, kind, loyal, all of it. We've been married 3 years, but I feel like my wife is slow. I love her. I know that sounds horrible, and I feel like a total a-hole even typing it. For years, it's been a thing. She needs me for anything technical or requires problem solving. Like, I've had to FaceTime her to show her how to find something in her banking app multiple times. It's not just tech stuff either. It's a bunch of things. We have a totally different sense of humor. I had to literally explain to her what a meme was a while back. And I'll be honest, for a while, I didn't mind. I'm an IT guy, so this stuff is easy for me. Part of me liked being the guy who could fix things for her and made me feel needed, It was just a little quirk, not a big deal. But now I have a 1-month-old baby, and it's like this small issue has become a monster that's destroying everything. She just doesn't get it. How to hold him right, how to change a diaper without him screaming. I show her over and over. She tries. I know she's trying so hard, but it's like she does everything wrong. She'll do something that makes no sense and the baby starts wailing and I have to step in. I've read about mom brain or whatever, but shouldn't she get more in tune with the baby? I feel like I'm the one who knows what he needs, and she's just fumbling. And my patience is just gone. Completely shot. I'm snapping at her. I'm being sharp and critical, and I can see on her face that I'm just crushing her. And then I feel like the biggest piece of crap on the planet. This has to be my fault. We are both so tired. I know this is supposed to be a team effort, but I'm acting like her drill sergeant, and a crappy one at that. I'm hurting the person I love most when she needs the most. How do I fix this? How do I stop being so angry? Has anyone been here before? I feel like I'm ruining everything. So, at first, I don't think I read this whole thing. And when I started reading it, I just felt bad. I kind of got mad at OP for writing this because I was just like, wow, you are being so mean to say all this. But you know what? Honestly, there are people out there and there are women. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Sorry. Tough times to record also means sometimes you have to have a child in with you while she's watching something and you're trying to record. So, never mind that. But I was just thinking, like, there are moms out there who are not naturally maternal, or it just takes them a little bit longer. And that is okay. Not everyone is so great right from the beginning at being a mom, especially if you don't have those awesome resources or support around you. So for me, I think my biggest thing, OP, would be, do you have family members? Like, does she have her mom or your mom that could come around and help? An aunt, a cousin, a sister, anyone? I just think sometimes they need that support of, hey, someone help, just get her back on her feet with the baby and show her how to do things. Another thing could be parenting classes. Did you guys take any parenting classes after or before the baby came? And if not, it is not too late to still take those classes after the baby is born. So really, I would encourage you guys both participating in parenting classes. And then also, if anything, maybe keep her in it a little bit longer. But honestly, this is the biggest thing she needs, is a support system, just not from you, but from other women, other people that can help around the house or for the baby, can maybe get her kind of getting more comfortable and more confident and doing what she needs to do. Now, there's always going to be issues that come up, and so just making sure she has her pediatrician nurse that she can call the doctor's office, and just if they have any questions available, like that she's curious on. There are books that she can read, but also I honestly think hands-on work is the best example for her to run by. She needs that support system, and honestly, not everyone, like I have a sister-in-law with her first kid, and this is, we say this is a funny story, but at the time she probably felt kind of dumb for what she did. And I think it's because she didn't really have the best support system to kind of tell her if she was right or wrong in certain things. So like when she had her firstborn, she thought for each month the baby was in, they would be in the next size of diapers. And you know how our diapers are. There's newborn, there's even preemie, newborn, 1s, 2s, 3s, I think all the way, and I think they even go up to like 6 or 7 at the most. Mainly 6, I think. But she thought with each month the baby grew, that was be the next size up of diapers. So when the baby was like 6 months old, he was in size 6 diapers, which is usually for over 1-year-old, if not maybe even a 2-year-old. So for a 6-month-old, I mean, she was saying these diapers were huge on him, and I just didn't know if that was right until she figured out, I think it was a friend that told her the correct thing. And see, that's just where if you don't have that support system around you, you can't judge people for making certain decisions they weren't aware of And honestly, you really, as a mom and a dad, you really do need to do your research on things before a baby comes, because you do need to be aware of what needs to be done. And the thing is, the internet is on at our fingertips, so it's so easy to look up things and certain websites and certain links anymore. But I mean, I will say 10 years back, that wasn't always the deal. Not everything was readily at our fingertips. Even on the internet, it sometimes wouldn't even give us everything we needed. And sometimes it wasn't always accurate either. And so we would read books. But, I mean, at this day and age, it is. So, OP, look for some help, some support for your wife. And then that way, maybe you guys won't be so tired because you'll get some help. It's okay to ask for help. Also, if you guys are really angry with each other, or you're angry and it's crushing her, maybe go to some marriage counseling and just rebuild that bond together. Having a child in a marriage, it can be tough, and it can put some stress on the marriage. So sometimes when you're seeing other people, how they parent, it can really make you change how you feel about how this marriage is going to last. And the thing is, this is super doable, that you guys can keep this marriage strong as ever. You guys just need to look out. You guys need to get some resources. You guys need to get some support. All the help you can get can definitely help your marriage and this parenting little situation get better. So, on to the next story. Okay, this next story is under Mark Narrations from 1 month ago. It is called, Am I the A-hole for reporting my sister to CPS and not telling her it was me? My wife and I struggled with infertility for 8 years. Eventually, we adopted through foster care and have been raising our amazing daughter for 5 years now. Recently, my sister, who can't have children, called me asking how adoption works. When I asked why, she said a friend of hers was pregnant and had offered her the baby. I explained the process and cost, making it sound even more complicated than it is, because the reality is my sister lives in an RV, has no job, and struggles with drugs. She seemed discouraged and hung up. A couple days later, she called me back saying she had a plan. Her plan was to have her boyfriend claim the baby as his. It's not. Get the biological mother to surrender parental rights and then raise the baby. That just seems sketchy as heck. No way. That would, CPS, police could look through that quite easily, especially if they did a DNA test. For the father, for sure. Anyways, that's not adoption. That's basically human trafficking with extra steps. I agree. So I called CPS and reported the situation. They said they'd look into it, but I didn't hear anything after that. Fast forward to the baby being born, my sister sends me photos, talks about baby showers, names the baby, and tells me she's about to bring her home. Then I get a call. She's sobbing because CPS stepped in and took the baby into protective custody. She asked me for advice on how to get the baby back. I gave her some vague advice, but I couldn't bring myself to admit that it was me who called CPS. I told her maybe the doctor or hospital had reported her. I felt guilty until I later learned her home didn't even have power and that she and her boyfriend were manufacturing illegal substances. So Reddit, am I the jerk for reporting my sisters to CPS and not telling her it was me? And OP, I would say no. Honestly, you do what you think is best for that child, even if it is your own blood. Because if you know your blood and how they're going to be, and it's not going to be safe for that child, then that poor innocent child should not be raised in this. And I'm sorry, like, I was a mandatory reporter for many places I've worked. So if I think there's something wrong, and if it was even with my own family, I would call it on my own family. I would probably really encourage my family member to not do that, and that I could step in and help in any way to make it as safe as possible. But if they weren't going to listen or still continue doing that dangerous harm, harmful situation that could hurt the child or just be not in a safe environment, then yeah, I would go ahead and call. In this case, yeah, I wouldn't tell. I don't think I could tell. I don't know. The thing is, could I tell them? I think they would get so mad at me and never trust me. But the other part of me is, if I just don't know if I could tell them. Now, if they were asking me if I did call CPS on them, I'd be like, yeah, I did. But I don't think I'd lie about that. But I don't think I'd ever like straight out tell them it was me. And I think I would just really be there for my family and really help them say, hey, they took the baby away because of this situation. If you truly want another baby, you really need to fix yourself. You need to really fix your life to be the best it can be for a child to be in it. Excuse me. So top comment was, don't tell her anything. You're going to need her to keep telling you her illegal child abuse ideas before they happen to so that you can continue to report her. Bonus points if you can convince her a dealer or other drug users are the ones turning her in. Maybe she'll actually distance herself from those people. I mean, yeah, honestly, I think this is more of a strategy solution and a strategic point of view, but my point is just be there for your sister and really try and convince her that she needs to shape up her life if she's going to have a child, if she wants a child in her life. Someone underneath it says, I worked in addiction recovery where reunification was the goal. We frequently had infants residing with their moms, and it usually went really well. We had one mom and infant get to us not detoxed, and we weren't told she hadn't detoxed. And when she crashed, we could not wake her to take care of the baby. And if there weren't other people there to take care of the baby, who knows what would have happened. I mean, that's the thing. This dangerous environment. She was dealing with illegal substances. She didn't even have power in her home. And I'm sorry, if you don't have power in your house and you have a newborn, they need to be washed. They need to be taken care of. You need to give them, if you're not breastfeeding, obviously, because if you're not biological with your own milk supply, you need to have formula or something for them. Formula, that would be the best thing after breast milk, obviously. If you're not the mom and have that, go for formula. But honestly, there's so many things you need. You need warmth if it's cold and there's no power to keep it warm. You need air if it's too hot, because the baby can't get too hot. There are just so many factors of what you need to be taking care of a newborn. And even if she wasn't dealing with illegal substances, she had no power, which is just not just as bad, but that is really bad to not have for taking care of a newborn. So there's just, yeah, in this case, you did what you did, what you thought was best, OP. And yeah, I'm thinking at this point, you do not, because if she was this easily able to get a baby from a friend who was giving it up and they weren't doing any paperwork or anything, who knows what else in her community that she's around she could easily get another baby. And I know that sounds really bad, but yeah, I honestly think you shouldn't tell her, and you should keep an eye on her and really try and convince her to get out of that lifestyle. And yeah, like I said, keep an eye on her. So at that point, yeah, I think you did what was best, and you're kind of a little bit of a guardian angel to others and herself, because you're doing what she would just be in such a big mess with if no one was there to protect that child. And she could get in even more trouble if something happened to that child that she was responsible for at the time. Okay, so we're going to go move on to the next story. Okay, so the next story I have is from AITAH from 1 month ago. It is, am I the a-hole for telling an autistic person that their disability isn't an excuse for not paying for services rendered? That's quite a mouthful of a title. Anyways, I work as a server in a restaurant. A couple of nights ago, I had a couple in their 30s come in around 2 a.m. That's pretty early, or late, or whatever. As I took their order, the husband mentioned that all the food had to be on separate plates for his wife as she is autistic and will not eat foods that share the same plate. They then proceeded to order. She wanted a kids meal. However, restaurant policy states that kids meals can only be bought for the kids. I explained this policy and explained that everything on the kids menu is available to adults for a slightly higher price. Combined, it all came out to be about $150 more in price. The husband agrees and I send the order to the kitchen. We are a little busier than normal as it's homecoming weekend. I'm wondering if she meant 2 p.m. because 2 a.m. seems pretty crazy for everyone to be awakened. I'm sorry, that just keeps sticking in my mind. We are a little busier than normal as it's homecoming weekend and we have lots of big parties. About 20 minutes pass and the husband flags me down and states that his wife is having a panic attack and they need to pay for their drink and leave. I ask for 1 second to make the kitchen aware that their order is no longer needed and he agrees. When I go to the kitchen, I'm told the food is already prepared, so I ask for it to be boxed up to go. I return to the floor, explain that the food has been prepared and I'm having it boxed to go for them. The wife then states because of her panic attack, she will not be able to eat. I explained that I am so sorry that she had a panic attack, but as they came into the restaurant, ordered the food, and that it has already been prepared, they would be expected to pay for the service rendered. However, I would comp their drinks as they would like, if they would like. She then asked why she should have to pay for food she wouldn't be able to consume, and I simply stated that once the food was ordered and cooked, the company required compensation for services rendered, and that even if they were to stay in the restaurant and not eat any of the food and leave it at the table, they would still be expected to pay for what they ordered. She then reiterated that she had a panic attack and that I should have recognized that she was having a medical episode, to which I replied that I am a server and not a trained medical provider, and that if she was being escorted out of the restaurant on a stretcher, then I would be making an exception. But as she was currently speaking with me coherently, I failed to see how her medical condition warranted her not paying her bill. Today, I received a complaint that they filed with our corporate office saying that I discriminated. Oh goodness. For saying that I discriminated against them to make them pay for food that the wife wouldn't be able to consume due to her having a panic attack induced by her autism. However, I would have done the same with any customer regardless of who they are. I actually think that making an exception for them solely because she is disabled would be a form of discrimination, as I would be treating her differently than I would treat others solely because of her disability. I mean, she's got a point there for sure. So my question is, am I the a-hole for not making an exception, or did I do the right thing by having them pay for the food they ordered? So, I think, yeah. Where was the husband when she was talking to the wife? I mean, if the wife is having the panic attack, the wife shouldn't be able to speak. She should be like, I gotta go. I need to go somewhere. I just need to get away. And the husband should have stayed behind really quick and said, hey, I will pay. She's gonna go to the car and I'm gonna pay. And I don't know. She's having a panic attack and they just left. But then she stopped to argue. She just stopped to talk with the waitress longer, which doesn't make any sense because I'll be honest. I've had panic attacks recently. I never thought I had panic attacks before. So in the last few weeks, I have actually dealt and had panic attacks. And I will say panic attacks I don't know. Everyone can have different panic attacks. I don't know what they look like. To me, I am super overwhelmed. My heart is like literally pounding out of my chest. I can just feel it. I'm having a hard time breathing. I am like quick in breath. My heart is pounding literally through my chest and I'm getting all shaky and I'm very emotional. Like I am about to bawl or already doing it. Like I literally can't, like I'm like almost hyperventilating because that's how like crazy my mind is just all over the place. And I am just so overwhelmed and I'm like crying or trying not to cry. And I'm like literally trying to do breathing exercises to calm down. Like that's how crazy a panic attack can get. And I don't know why. I'm trying to figure out why I've been really dealing with those recently. But it's gone quite crazy, where I've like done them in front of one of my family members and then Justin, and they've had to calm me down. And yeah, I don't know what's causing them right now. We're trying to figure that out. But I think I need to go and talk to someone to kind of like get that out, and figure that out. So, but the thing is, I just don't think, if this person was having a panic attack, but they were able to stand by and talk with the waitress, they should have just paid for the food. They came in and ordered. They took the restaurant's time. They should just deal with it. I don't know why it's such a big deal. They just need to deal with it. So top comment says, so she had a panic attack, but stayed in the restaurant to argue about not paying for her meal. That clearly was not an emergency. She sounds like a nightmare who is totally enabled by the husband. Okay, yeah. So yeah, like I was saying. So she was able to stand around and argue about not paying. If it was that critical of a panic attack, she would have left. And the husband, where's the husband? He should have been like, I will pay, you get out of here. But somehow the wife was still stable and able to just argue that she shouldn't pay because she had a panic attack. If she doesn't, it keeps saying she had it. So if she's not having it anymore, shouldn't she be able to pay and then just leave and be like, I can't stay. I'm a little distraught. I can't eat right now. I can't eat right now. So I'll take it to go later. I mean, you just have to deal with it. I'm sorry if it doesn't taste good later. But you came in and took their time. So that's how it goes. Someone underneath that says, not a panic attack. I've gotten them, and all I can think about is getting to a safe place, car, home, to let it run its course. My ability to argue with someone is nil because my brain is telling me to run away. Yeah, like this person's able to just, yeah, that's just what's crazy. So in that case, I just think, yeah, no, you're not. You needed them. And then they're like, you discriminated towards us. No, you didn't. Discriminating would be like if I treated you differently because you were, because you had autism and a panic attack and you're not treating them differently. You would do this to anyone who had a non-emergency medical situation to come up that they needed to leave urgently for. So no, I don't think you're the a-hole at all. A next story. Okay, so this next story is from r/petty revenge from 1 month ago. A lot of these stories, I'm sorry guys, the pattern here is that they're all from 1 month ago, it seems like. Must be getting my good stories from them right now. Anyways, the title is Mom Ignored Me Asking Her Not to Announce My Birthday at Restaurants. Ew. So my brother and I are both the kind of people that don't like to be the center of attention. For our birthdays, we would go out for dinner and our mom would tell the servers that it was our birthday. So they would come over and do what the restaurant's birthday song is. We hated this and we would constantly ask her not to do it. She would smile and laugh and say, okay, then do it anyway, and make some excuse about how she just wanted to celebrate our birthdays. My brother and I got sick of this, so we started telling the servers it was our mom's birthday on random meals. The servers would come out and start singing happy birthday, and mom would look around to see whose birthday it was, only to have them come to her. Okay. My brother and I kept this up for months. I would catch on saying if we're going to keep going out, I just stopped going out for a while. The final straw for her was when we were out for my dad's dinner and the servers came to her singing happy birthday. My dad thought it was funny and my mom finally agreed to stop. So edit to add to this. When I was a teen in the 90s, it's been over 20 years since anyone in my family has done this to anyone. So this was a while ago story, but that is hilarious. Just keep randomly doing that to people on their not even on their birthday, just to tell them like, hey, we don't like this, you know? So Top comment was, my mom would do this. I hated it. She also insisted she was 29, well into my 40s. I finally got her to stop the birthday shenanigans when I told her, if you tell them it's my birthday, I'll tell them how old I am and that you're my mom. Ha. So it looks like everyone's kind of dealt with something like this before. Next story. Okay, next story is also from Am I the A-hole? It's from 1 year ago. Hey, we changed the pattern from 1 month to a year ago now. Okay, and the title is, Am I the A-hole for defending my son for using a different language when he was upset during an argument at kindergarten? Okay, so the story is, I, 36 female, have been married to my wonderful wife, Anna, 35 female, for the past 10 years. We have a 5-year-old son, Liam. You gonna say something? What do you want to say? You say hi? Yep, okay. I'm gonna talk now. Okay. Anna and I both work during the day, so Liam spends the time until one of us can pick him up at his kindergarten. The other day, Liam's teacher called me and said they would appreciate it if we both were available when we picked him up, because he had gotten into an argument and they wanted to talk to us. Initially, I was worried, so I moved a few of my meetings and called my wife. We both went to pick him up. The whole issue was he had gotten into an argument with a girl over the rules of a game they were playing. The teacher said that as he got angry, he started speaking in a different language, and no one could understand what he was on about. The other kids' parents said it was offensive to speak in a way that no one understood, and we should have taught him better. Now, I am a Greek woman. My wife is French. We live in an English-speaking country. While Liam can certainly speak English, he occasionally uses Greek and French. Both Anna and I learned each other's languages, so our household is a mix of all three at different times. He picked up on both of them and can speak them more or less. Now, I said we have clearly taught him well, since that he has been able to speak in other languages fluently this whole time, but only slipped when he was frustrated during an argument. I said it was in no way offensive, that it was a human reaction, and that Liam would surely get it under his full control over time, but he is 5 now, so maybe we all should just take a deep breath. The other kids' parents were extremely mad, saying their daughter was so upset she cried after the argument, and that Liam had to apologize about making her feel this frustration via using another language. My wife answered them with the same overall point as I did, but they didn't back down. Even the teacher said we had to work on Liam not making this a reoccurring theme, which is fair. I mean, making this a reoccurring theme, maybe, like him getting angry and everything, but not being able to speak in his own language? Like, come on. Okay, so after the meeting was over and we were going to drive away, the other kids' dad made a comment along the lines of, you're all arrogant rich people driving cars like this and thinking whatever you're doing is right. In front of the kids, too. I got really mad and said, I hope you're a better parent than what I'm guessing you are. After we went home, Anna and I did tell Liam to not speak to other people in a language they don't understand. Later, we talked among ourselves and wondered if we really did escalate the whole argument even more. I am asking on behalf of both of us. Were we the a-hole? So honestly, I don't think you are. I honestly think you did handle it well, saying that you have taught him very well and that it went so well that he's only slipped a couple times in different language when he was frustrated. So I honestly think, like, hey, he's 5. He's a 5-year-old. Let's give a little grace. He's, explain to them, like, hey, he's a household that speaks 3 different languages. We're trying to keep up with their culture, but yes, he's at least speaking English from the majority of everything. He only slipped up this one time. I don't know. Like, I honestly think that... Okay, Thor, get down. I have a cat now that's trying to get in our business. But I honestly think you handled it well. Now, I just think the other family was more mad than they should have been. There was not anything they should have been that angry about. And they should have explained. And they should have explained that, hey, this kid just started speaking his other language that he's learning at home. Are you excited? Yeah? Okay. So top comment goes off to say, not the a-hole, the kids shouldn't be restricted to English only. I'm a white, English only speaking person, and I grew up with a lot of immigrants. It was super common for people to switch to many different languages. And it was also common for me to get yelled at in Vietnamese or another language when someone was upset with me. It's just a super common thing for people to speak in their own native language when upset. The racist butt teacher and tiny a-hole of a little kid who cried can both just suck it up and shut up. That's a little harsh at the end. Now, I will say, the teacher should have been more on your side, OP. I feel like she should have been more of a third party, and should have stayed neutral and just said, hey, this was a little concerning. It upset this person, this kid. But I honestly think, I want to know the full story. Is he doing this more? Can he, maybe try and work on this? But I'm and then she should have been on your side defending you, saying, hey, this doesn't happen. This was a one-time thing. And he speaks 3 different languages, so this one just must have slipped out, just like anyone who speaks more than one language. So, honestly, you have to understand that when people speak more than one language, their natural primary language will come out at times, and it'll slip out if they don't know something in this secondary or third language they're learning. So yeah, it's very common, and people should get used to it, honestly. So yeah, I honestly think I think everyone's agreeing with that, and I don't see anyone that is the a-hole. I don't think you escalated things either. I think the comment from the dad on the family was unnecessary, and I think you just got mad and said your bit about it. And honestly, I don't know. I honestly think the people need to just be adjusted and get used to that stuff from happening, because it is common, especially if this is in the U.S. or any place, because you're in a mixture of literally all different types of cultures and languages. So yeah, if this is in the UK or other countries or the US, I mean, they're all places that mix in tons of people from all over the place. So yeah, I honestly think you are not the a-hole, OP. Next story. Okay, so we're going to end on some things from r/nice guys, just a couple of those, and then one last story. Just some fun ones at the end here. Don't touch that. So this one is titled, I'm not spoiling you, is that okay? So, it goes off with the nice guy saying, let's see. The nice guy says, hi, I'm not spoiling you, is that okay? And OP goes, hi, should I be worried or relieved? And nice guy says, I'm not rich and will be saying no to a lot of things to you. OP says, what made you think that was a great way to start? OP says, what made you think that was a great way to start a conversation? And the nice guy says, I'm avoiding gold diggers. I'm looking for a humble wife to cook and clean and have babies while I pay all the bills and give her a small allowance. He's just upfront about all that, literally everything, and then give her a small allowance. And OP says, not everyone's after your money. And he goes, I'm never getting married either. So you literally said, I'm looking for a wife, but I'm never getting married? Those two things don't go together. And OP goes, wow, that's a lot to unpack for a first chat. This is the first chat? That's crazy. So he goes on to ask, do you like to cook? And she goes, absolutely. I even have a PhD in boiling water and a minor in making cereal. And then he goes, Daddy's... Hey, can you stop? And then he goes, Daddy senses sarcasm. And, Daddy? What? And OP says, Daddy? You might need more than senses to keep up. And that was last of it. That is so crazy. That was a first chat. That was a first chat. So the comment goes, like, top comment says, this is a man who knows what he wants and also has no idea what he wants. What a nice guy. No. Was that also with every step he takes, he shoots himself in the foot and then steps back. And then a person underneath that says he wants his mommy. Honestly, that is literally what he wants. He wants a wife, he says, to literally take care of him, and he will pay the bills and give her this small little bit of allowance, whatever it is to do. And then basically he just says, oh, I don't want to get married either. I'm never going to get married. But so you don't want a wife. You literally just want a maid. That's literally what you want. A maid or his mom. Yeah, this guy is nuts. That's nuts. Okay, so to another nice guy's post. This one's titled, I'm a great father. I have a car. I have a job. I have a house. I have dogs. So it starts off as a rant. This is just someone who posted, giving off a rant. Dating nowadays is very frustrating and aggravating. Why do women like douchebags so much? Because honestly, a guy can have a bouquet of red flags and the girl will be all over him, and I get told constantly that I'm not ready to date. That's what women say when I ask them out, and I'm not ready to date every effing time, and then I'll see them on Facebook dating. Laugh out loud. Like, what the F is wrong with me? Am I that bad of a person? I can't even effing get a girl to go on a date with me? Like, what the frick? I'm a great father. I have a car. I have a job. I have a house. I have dogs. I think I'm funny and fun to be around. So why the F doesn't anybody want to be around me? Seriously, what's the matter with me? If you know, or if you have an idea, send me a message. Put it in the comments. I don't give a frick. This should be fun. And this must have been I think this was a Facebook post, because someone underneath had posted, and this is a woman, maybe because you post videos of half naked girls with their legs spread in the air. I'm a married lady of 10 years, so I'm a bit out of the loop, but this doesn't typically attract the best of the best. So yeah, that reply, chef's kiss. I agree. Honestly, if you know this person and what they post, and it's literally what that comment had said, then yeah, no wonder people are saying you're not ready. Like, you're literally, like, I can't, no. I can only imagine what the person you are if you're literally posting about half-naked girls with their legs stuck in the air, like, Nope. No wonder. Yeah, you aren't ready for a relationship if you're posting stuff about that. Be mature. Grow up. If you're wanting a relationship, stop posting stuff like that. And no one wants that. No one wants that. No girl wants that if you're going to be in a relationship with them. So yeah, they are right that you're not ready to date, and that's why they're dating other people. So there you go. Wonderful answer from that woman. Yeah, no, that's exactly how it goes. So the last story I have for you guys today is from r/entitled people from 14 hours ago. This is our soonest or our quickest story of the day. That's from, not that long ago. And the title is Friend is Mad, My Brother Won't Date Her. So my sister has this friend named Liza. Both are 26. Liza has always had a crush on her brother Philip. Philip is 33 and has no kids. Liza has 3 kids by 2 different men. So my sister Liza and I were doing some early Christmas shopping. I was going down the list of what I was planning on getting everyone. When Philip came up, Liza said I should get him coal. I asked why. She tells me that she has been dropping hints to Philip that they should spend time together during upcoming holidays. Philip wasn't picking up on her hints, so Liza flat out asked him to be with her during Thanksgiving and Christmas. Get to know her and her kids and family during the holidays. Philip told her no. He usually spends time out the country anyways. So I asked Liza if she thinks Philip should get Cole because he rejected her. And she says, honestly, I kind of always thought Philip was gay, but now I got other suspicions. I looked at my sister in the rearview mirror like, are you not gonna check your friend? So my sister asked, what suspicions? Liza said, don't play dumb, y'all. If an adult man doesn't like adult women, there's only two other options. I saw my sister wasn't going to say anything to her, so I did. I asked her, so because my brother doesn't want to be with you, he's either gay or a pedo? She said, it's not even that he doesn't want to be with me. He won't even give it a chance. That's weird and not fair. He won't give us a chance because I have kids. So I'm like, yeah, if Philip dated you, he'd become an immediate dad, like day one. That's crazy responsibility for anyone. Then Liza cuts me off and is like, Philip is a 33-year-old man and needs some darn responsibility. She was yelling, so I yelled back, his responsibility is not gonna be your darn kids. Then my sister finally speaks up just to tell us to calm down, and I was getting taken home. I get home and was telling my mom and Philip about it. We all had a laugh. It's just crazy she's upset my brother won't date her. She's tried to slander his name, calling him a possible pedo or gay man because he has no interest in her. Edit, I keep getting asked why I hang with Liza. Liza is my sister's friend. My sister is going through mental health and addiction issues. My sister is not ready for help. We can't force her to do anything, so we just keep her close to make sure she's safe. She's family. Liza is a friend that comes in and out of my sister's life. When she's out, my sister is fine and works to better herself. When she's in, my sister finds herself in chaos and trouble. I also got asked about my brother's feelings toward the pedo comment. He literally doesn't care. He's got a job in another country and will be out of the USA by February. You could slap him right now and it wouldn't ruin his day. Please stop asking why I didn't drive myself. Cars are expensive and I'm poor. Someone pointed out a pedophile joke. A pedophile joke. I didn't even catch it. My brother's name is actually Philip. Oh, that's so funny. I mean, actually, it's not funny. Honestly, it doesn't matter. He doesn't care. But that's so crazy. That just because he doesn't want to be with her, she's literally saying he's gay or a pedo. And that's like, how can you think that way? Because this specific man doesn't want you, he can't be attracted to women. No, there's no way. Because he doesn't want to even give you a chance. Like, that's ridiculous to say at the least. So, top comment was, I can see why Philip doesn't want to date her. Well, yeah, honestly, I think everyone does. Can't expand on that. We can see why she's single. Oh my word. So yeah, no, I mean, there's, what is it? 6. There are 6 reasons no one will date her. No, there's like so many. Honestly, you can already tell this person is not someone you want to probably affiliate yourself with. And, you know, poor OP's family is just staying with her and being around this woman because she's your sister's friend and your sister's going through a hard time. And it's either you just suck it up and deal with her while you can be with your sister during this hard time, or leave your sister to face her own troubles with this person, which I honestly think will just make things matters worse because she doesn't have the right thinking or the right logic and things, and yeah, that's someone you don't really want to be around. So at least they all had a good laugh and Philip didn't even have to take it too seriously. Good job, OP, for standing up for your brother, and making sure your like sister was like, you know, didn't even care that you didn't want to like, you know, have a bad relationship with your sister's friend just because it's like, no, she's gonna say some things that aren't true. You need to check on that. You need to check on that for sure. So those are the stories I have for today, guys. Like I said, a bunch of random ones. This was a little bit of a shorter episode. Not too short, but just a little bit shorter. And so I do hope you enjoyed them. And my solo act for the day with a little bit of some childhood charm with my child here. So If you guys have any, yep, there she goes. If you guys have any stories of your own that you would like to post, or go ahead and send to us our way, our email address is the Reddit Randos at gmail.com. So you guys are more than welcome to reach out that way. Even if it's not about stories, you guys can comment, say well wishes, just literally say anything. I don't care. But yeah, holidays are coming, so I do hope you guys are getting some relaxed time before the chaos happens. Unless this ends up being a relaxing time for you guys. I feel like it doesn't for me, but I am I'm ready for the holidays to kind of happen and then kind of get back to being relaxed on things. So, and Thanksgiving and Christmas hasn't even started yet. So that's just how it goes. But I do hope you guys enjoyed the days. I do guys hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and week until next week's stories. But other than that, we'll talk to you later. Can you say bye?
Bye.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.